I want to show you some of the tips and the tricks of dealing with the LT. Just some different things. One question that is asked a lot on the forums is how to put it up on the center stand. Obviously, if you have one of those bikes that have a nice little button on it that you can just push and just goes up by itself, that's awesome. But a lot of us have these older bikes, the 99, the 2000s, stuff like that, or maybe even bought your bike as an option that didn't have the electric center stand. It's got the manual one. These bikes being so heavy, they are a little bit more difficult than some to put on the center stand. And it also depends on the condition of your shocks. If you have old shocks on there and the bike is setting a little bit lower, or if you've got a lot of stuff in the top case, it's it adds that weight, or if it's all loaded down with gear, it can definitely get to be a chore. Also, even the condition of the tires, that little half-inch, if your tires are really worn out, it sets the bike a little bit lower. It's a little bit more difficult to put on the center. So in order to get it on the center stand, we just tip it up to the tipping point, to the even point. Set your foot on here, put it in the ball of your foot, and just kind of rock it back and forth till you feel that when it hits both of those little feet in there. And you're going to stand down really hard. I use my right foot. Other people use their left. Whatever is your choice. There's also a little grab handle right here. I don't find this grab handle convenient at all because it just seems like you're bending over too much. I like to lift it on the saddlebag, on the passenger grab handle. Pull in the clutch because it might be in gear, and then just stand down really hard while lifting up on the saddlebag. It comes right up. So that's how you get it up on the center stand. To get it off the center stand, you can walk it off this way, or you can straddle the bike. If your legs are long enough, you can certainly straddle the bike and then just shake it off. Just push it forward and grab that brake. All right. So how to tie the bike down? There's another question that comes up a lot on the forums. Where's the right points to put the straps, things like that. If you ever have to call a tow truck out, or if you have, you got to put it on a trailer or up in a truck or something like that to haul it somewhere. There's a lot of plastic on here, so there's not a lot of points, but there are good points. There's good anchor points to put your straps on. One part you never want to put a strap on is on your handlebars on this bike. This is not like a motocross bike or a lightweight bike where you've got a nice sturdy straight bar. You've got a lot of leverage point here, and if you start cranking down on these handlebars, it will bend them right down, and it will break the plastics here, cost you a lot of money, and a real pain in the ass to fix. So you definitely don't want to do that. So if you haven't already invested in some of these, I highly suggest you buy 4 of these types of straps. They're just little loop straps. They don't have to be sewn in the middle. They can just be a continuous loop. And these things come in really handy. So up in the front, right up in here, along the fork, there's a little fork bridge that goes right underneath this piece of black plastic here. You just take your strap, make sure you don't trap the brake lines or anything like that, and you've got a strap point right here. Okay, so there's one point. The point in the back, obviously it's going to be the same thing on the other side. So in the back here, where you strap it down, right up underneath this part here is the frame that comes to attach all the side bags and all of that stuff. There's a little, it's just a round piece of steel, and you can get this thing up in there, hopefully. Alright, so there we have this point, and now we can tie this up, and it will it creates a really good anchor point. The other side is the same, it's just above the exhaust pipe, and then just tie it down onto the deck of the trailer or whatever. Something I've recently noticed on my motorcycle after using the HID light for a number of years is that I think that it's getting more dim. I know these things, they don't just burn out necessarily unless something goes wrong inside of them. But I think I don't know if the gas just starts to leak out eventually. That little xenon gas that's in there. Anyways, I think that it's getting more dim. So I'm just going to do this as a comparison to, this is the one that has been installed for years. So I'm going to just let it charge up here, come to full brightness, and you can see the color of it almost has a bluish sort of green tint to it. I'm not really sure, but I'm kind of doing this off angle too, so you can really get the full effect of it without you know, having it magnified right into the camera. So I hope this is going to work. I'm going to run my hand over it here to try to, I think the camera's looking right at the bulb. So this should be fully warmed up by now. So there's the new headlight. Same color, same everything, just newer. And I gotta just say that looking at it from my perspective, it's extremely bright. It's a lot brighter. So I would highly advise, there we go, I would highly advise that you change out your HID headlight every once in a while. Maybe every couple of years at least, depending on how much you ride. So definitely proof that just by changing out the bulb to a fresh one really makes a huge difference. Now cars will get out of the way. Alright, heaven forbid that this ever happened to you, but if your bike is on its side, it might happen to you in a gas station, something like that. A lot of guys have this happen where the bike tips over. Maybe some hooligans are running around your neighborhood and they knocked it over. I don't know. It's a really heavy bike though to pick up, but you can do it alone. And I'm going to demonstrate how to pick this bike up by yourself. Now if there's bystanders around, please use them, especially if they're laughing at you. Make sure that they get the bulk of the weight. And the bulk of the weight is going to be back here. Now I tipped this bike over on the right side just so I can access the side stand, stuff like that a little bit easier. You want to make sure that your side stand is deployed before you lift this thing up. That is very important because the last thing you want to do is roll it over and then have it roll right onto the other side, and then you have to pick it up from that side. Also, if you're on any kind of an incline, which our driveway is a little bit inclined, put it in gear so that the bike doesn't want to roll back, because you're going to do this backwards. So that way you don't hurt yourself. You don't want to try to lift the bike up in this direction, because you're probably going to wind up breaking your back or really injuring yourself. So in order to lift this up, I'm going to grab onto the side bag here and put your weight against the seat, and you're going to use the handlebar just really more as a guide than trying to lift. You don't want to lift here because, again, these handlebars they can be pretty weak. They can definitely have a problem if you pull too hard on them. All right, so again, we're just going to lift up really heavy on this one. This is where most of your lifting is going to go, and push backwards on the bike. There we go. That's it. There it is, up on the side stand. Ready to go again. Now, another thing to note too is if I tipped it over on the right side also, not just so I could get to that side stand, but if it goes down on the left side, expect that when you start the bike up, it is going to smoke like a beast, because all that engine oil is going to go against the head. It's going to probably leak into the valves, and you're going to have a huge cloud that will make you actually think that you broke the bike, more so than just your normal startup cloud. So anyway, that's how you put it up from if it falls over. Okay, the LT is so easy that even a girl can do it. For all you guys out there that are having such a hard time, go ahead, honey, just throw that thing right up on the center. There it is. Beautiful.